Hello, I received a reading from D-Ray.
Peace, D-Ray.
Peace and blessings to you, my lovely queen, Desiree.
Peace, peace. My name is Micah. I just wanted to give my quick testimonial on my recent love reading by D-Ray.
Thank you, first of all, for that reading. You know what I'm saying? On point.
First of all, I would like to say D-Ray.
If you're thinking about doing a reading Desiree wise, I would say.
And it was absolutely amazing. D-Ray, I want you to know that you touched on a subject that I have been contemplating and trying to figure out for 2 years now.
I'm much for the reading, every single thing that you've said.
For reading.
I just want to say thank you so much for the reading. It was definitely on point. It was amazing. I got it on repeat. I'm definitely going to go ahead and download it to my computer.
Like crazy, like more than I even thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
I love you. You're like, that reading was beyond on point.
Do it. She is phenomenal. She's awesome. Since the new year, I've done about 3 or 4 readings with her, and it's always been spot on. It's always been accurate.
You mentioned a particular specialty that I could go into that I could help people. And when I say I haven't told very many people about that, hardly anybody, but you picked up on it. And this isn't something that's very common and that's known to many people.
First off, sis is phenomenal out of this world, okay? Always on point.
My view of what could be was very limited. But this has given me clarity and has given me just like a little push to move forward and to continue on doing the work and stepping into my purpose.
Just wanted to say that the reading was super on point.
Everything was resonating with me. Everything that you said on my reading yesterday morning, I was actually asking Most High for confirmation and for direction. Like, how do I start? Where do I start from? How do I begin? Like, what should I do? And all of these questions.
Because for a while, I was doing a meditation on 4-leaf clover, right? Constantly. But for you to come back and say, I need to work with this leprechaun energy.
Everything you said was spot on. There was not one thing that you mentioned that I could not disagree with.
But the reading definitely is healing for me and just affirming for me and just affirm some of the things that I already kind of knew within myself.
At first, I didn't really know what steps or what I needed to do to become something different this year.
Beyond on point. You had suggested in the reading for me to watch a specific show.
So that's most of it. I'm just grateful for that reading, and I highly recommend that you guys do get a reading from her if you're interested in knowing more about your love life, what's going on in your love life.
Just that part right there alone blew my mind, just because so much green has been coming into my life. But I think that mother womb part too just resonated with me so much.
And when you done my reading, I got the answer for each and every question. My ancestors really used you to get it.
Like, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch it. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to make it again.
Family, if you are ready for divine clarity, loving guidance, and a healing path forward, my 1-card reading is your next step. This message reveals the exact energy you need to understand right now, so you can make aligned decisions, release confusion, and move in the direction your soul has been calling you towards. If you've been feeling stuck, uncertain, or spiritually disconnected, this 1 card will show you what's unfolding, what to trust, and what to do next. Simple, clear, and transformative. Tap in now to receive the insight from Spirit for you today. Now, let's get into the video. The womb is ancient, intellectual, instinctual, and divine. She births life under any circumstances, guided by a power no system, no trauma, or no human can stop. Welcome back to Womb Wednesday, ladies, where we honor the spirit, intelligence, and creative force of our wombs to heal, to connect, and serve. Grab your tea, light your candle, and let's talk. First, the womb operates from God's intelligence, not human instruction. This is why when we women are pregnant and we're in our last trimester, we're like, oh my God, I'm just ready for this baby to come. And that baby says, I'm not coming until 41 weeks, 42 weeks, right? Or sometimes that baby says, I'm coming at 38 weeks, 37 weeks, right? This is the intelligence of the womb at play, and it is outside of our human control. The womb understands what the mind can't comprehend. This is why the womb can birth under any circumstances and in situations or conditions where the world would say is impossible. The womb pushes through fear, chaos, trauma, abandonment, because she is responding to a higher command, not a human one. And this is the power that we too, as women, possess. When we lean into our own power, our own understanding, our instinct, and our divine guidance, there's absolutely nothing that we can't do, accomplish, succeed at, Whatever it is you desire, you can do as a woman. The womb is a reflection of that power. The womb is not waiting for perfect timing, perfect resources, or perfect support. She answers to the source that designed her. And this is how we tap into infinite power, infinite potential, and infinite possibility. When we as women are connected to our wombs, we go beyond our human logic and our human condition. We become unlimited. And so the womb is a reflection to us to start to operate in our God intelligence, to become aware of the limitations that we've placed on ourselves. Because when we get into our womb power, when we harness the intelligence, the instinct, and the divinity of our womb as women, we are unstoppable, untamable, uncontrollable, and limitless. So the womb transcends circumstances. I want you ladies to think about a time where you felt locked in, bogged down, limited, or you couldn't do, be, and have what it is you desired, right? What did you do in that situation? Did you cower? Did you hide? Did you go into fight or flight? Or did you show up to the occasion? Did you override that fear, right? Did you step up to the plate and birth that thing that you desired and birth that thing that was necessary for your life right now? That's our power as women. We get to override circumstances, fear, limitation, and give birth to what we are being called to deliver at this time. This is why women can birth in the backseat of a car. This is why women are giving birth at these hospitals without any assistance and without any medication. This is why the womb gets activated when a woman is under pressure or is unprepared or is unsupported. The womb is the blueprint for life. When we connect to our womb, we tap into divine memory. And through this divine memory, we have access to anything that we may need in this human realm. The womb's infant possibility, it's literally her divine design. It is your divine design as a woman to have infinite possibilities, right? The womb's potential comes directly from divine instruction. You just know what to do, when to do it. Right? When you are tapped in to your womb, your intuition, your instinct, your divine guidance, the potential is limitless. So, how do we start to harness this infinite potential and power that dwells in the womb? So, when we are talking about the power of the womb, we're not talking about something that you have to learn. We're talking about something that you remember. We are talking about the intelligence God wove into your body long before you were born. The location of the womb is where heaven and earth meet. It is where the spiritual becomes physical. It is where the unseen becomes seen. It is where divine possibility becomes manifested reality. And because the womb operates on a higher consciousness and a higher intelligence, your life expands when you reconnect to her wisdom. When you align with your womb, you're open to more possibilities. You are creatively limitless. Your intuition sharpens. You feel guided instead of confused. You move with purpose instead of fear. Because you aren't operating from just the mind anymore. You are operating from the same intelligence the womb uses to bring forth life. That is power, that is possibility, that is potential. This is why when a woman experiences trauma, especially trauma involving her body, her sexuality, her safety, or her identity, the womb responds before the mind does. Because the womb is not operating from human logic. She is not waiting for the woman to feel ready. She is not waiting for the environment to be supportive. She is not waiting for life to make sense. The womb responds to divine instruction, not human circumstance. So when the trauma hits, when support disappears, when a woman is left alone, When a woman is left vulnerable and has to hold herself, the womb does what she can, creates and activates. She sharpens, she tunes in, and she awakens ancient codes. She pulls from ancestral memory. My mother was a single mother of 3 children while we were kids. And we grew up in a low socioeconomic environment. And one thing I always knew about my mother, or always felt and still feel to this day about her, is that she is so damn powerful. Whenever madness and crazy stuff was going on in the hood, right? My mother just always knew what to do. We always felt safe with my mother, even though she was single, even though we grew up in environments filled with prostitution, gangs, drugs, murder. Because my mother was so dialed into her instinct, her God power, her awareness, we always felt safe because my mother was always 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of the game. This is the power that the womb has, right? When we need pure instinct and divine intelligence in motion, we have access to our wombs. In moments of stress, the womb protects, guides, and remembers how to bring life forward under any circumstances. So while the mind may be in shock, the womb never loses its assignment. See, trauma doesn't give power to the womb. Trauma reveals the power the womb possesses. And that's where we move to next, into understanding how trauma becomes an initiation, how it sharpens intuition and awareness, and how it activates the ancient intelligence stored in the womb itself. Many women sleep on their own power, authority, and sovereignty until something traumatic happens. It's like we have been conditioned not to recognize our power and honor it unless we have to.
Minutes after being turned away from a Northwest Indiana hospital.
Video shows her being wheeled out by hospital staff, and she's clearly in pain. Our SL Razai is live in Munster, where the woman and her baby are recovering.
Yeah, Joe, Erica, the videos the family posted online have quickly gone viral. It shows them at another hospital about 30 minutes away from here in Crown Point. The family says 8 minutes after being turned
Wow. And that's what I'm talking about. The womb is operating from a place where the conscious mind, the ego, the human cannot fathom or understand, right? And so, for example, with this woman giving birth 8 minutes after leaving the hospital, she had to tap into her womb remembrance. She had to tap into what her womb naturally knows how to do, the power it possessed instinctively and divinely. This is an activation for that young woman. Though it is traumatic, though she went to the hospital expecting to be supported, uplifted, and given access to things to make her birth easier, her womb said, don't worry, I know what to do. I know how to deliver a baby. I know how to bring forth life under any circumstance. This woman and another woman who recently just had a baby at a hospital without support will never be the same. They have been activated to their greatest level of womb power. Now, when situations and circumstances show up in their lives, they know that they have the access. They know that they have the internal capacity. They know that they're connected to something more powerful that supersedes all humanity. Trauma awakens the survival code, leading to heightened levels of intuition. It also activates your sensitivity, where you become more aware and have a greater sense of discernment. Trauma also breaks through illusions and it demands transformation. Lastly, trauma is an activation, not an identity. There is an upgraded path to activating your womb power without pain. After trauma, the next level of intentional activation is through pleasure. Pleasure and joy restore what trauma awakened. Creativity energizes the womb, strengthens fertility, both spiritually and physically. Pleasure is a form of womb medicine and womb empowerment. And pleasure is the womb's preferred frequency. I mean, it's located in the sacral chakra where we experience the ultimate form of pleasure through our sexual intimacy and orgasms. Okay. So when we dance, when we create, when we express ourselves, make art, make love, you are feeding your womb power. Creation is the womb's language, and pleasure is her fuel. A healed womb births from overflow and not from scarcity and not from survival. So, in order to really activate womb power, you want to tap into your sensuality, to your embodiment, to your movement, into your emotional creativity. The womb wants safety, softness, joy, and expression. So, pleasure is the thing that helps a woman to transform her trauma based womb identity. Again, the trauma is meant to activate you, transform you, and turn you on to a higher state of being within yourself. But without this wisdom, without this insight, many women get caught up in the trauma identity of not being able to trust, of not feeling safe, not being able to be soft, and operating strictly out of survival mode. So, one of the ways that I like to welcome more pleasure in order to activate my womb power, my instinct, my divinity, and my infinite possibility is through grounding, flow, and emotional energy. I am very intentional about feeling emotions of gratitude, of joy, of goodness, dancing, exercising, moving my hips in a circle are all ways that I activate and turn on that womb power that the trauma actually initiated. See, the womb sits between the sacral chakra and the root chakra. The root being safety, grounding, belonging. The sacral being emotion, flow, creativity, and sensuality. And so when we as women are emotionally unstable, ungrounded, and disconnected, our womb power leaks. When a woman grounds, trusts, allows, the womb power expands. Your womb is meant to express whatever your emotional body is holding. So if you hold on to joy, if you hold on to gratitude, to peace and love, that is what you will birth. But if you're holding on to resistance, limitation, lack, that is what you will birth, right? Being rooted in that sacral chakra and allowing for that feminine flow to take place activates what I like to call womb fire. And this womb fire is an alchemical fire. It burns up any lack, it burns up any scarcity or survival mode, but also it adds fuel to creativity, to passion, to your artistic creative ventures. Every time you ground, you strengthen your womb. Anytime you allow yourself to flow, you are nourishing that sacred womb power. The womb is amplified when the body feels safe, supported, and connected. Okay, so here's some things that you can do to activate more womb power, to get out of a trauma-based identity or power strictly stemming from the trials and tribulations you've been through, to using that as fuel for your creativity, for your purpose, and for your artistry. Number one, you want to ground every day or as often as possible, walking barefoot in the grass, making sure that you are connected to the earth and really pulling that energy up into your womb. Number two is through breath work, breathing into your womb space, breathing down into that sacral and root chakra, feeling your womb, feeling your gut expand, and then as you release, feeling it relax and let go. Another womb practice to activate more womb power is moving those hips in a circle. What this is doing is loosening up any tension, any restriction, any limitation, right? We also want to make sure that we're sitting upright and that we're feeling anchored in our seats whenever we're sitting down. This is a physical, but also a metaphysical energy. To be anchored, to be grounded in your seat means you are comfortable in where you stand, who you are, and what it is you're meant to do. Another way that we empower our wombs is through connecting to nature. Mother Earth is one of the greatest embodiments of feminine energy, or what we call Gaia. So when we connect to this wonderful planet that we inhabit, we are empowering and enlivening our womb, as our womb is a direct reflection of the earth. Another thing we want to do is just feel the energy and the essence of being supported. What I like to do is meditate. And in my meditation, I feel myself being hugged by the great mother womb. Feel yourself just being loved and supported by this divine, sacred, and feminine energy. Last things you want to do is participate in some pleasure-filled rituals. Things that make you feel juicy, wet, vibrant, and fluid. Maybe it's a nice spiritual bath. Maybe it's lighting a candle and sipping some tea. Maybe it's listening to your favorite high vibrational music. These are things that you can do that will support the upliftment and the enlightenment of your womb power. These are the things that you can use to call back your womb power from the trauma, the relationships, the situations and circumstances you may have left your power in. All right. Welcome back again to another Womb Wisdom Wednesday. I'll see y'all in the next one where we heal, connect, and serve, serve, serve.